Stratagems are the most important parts of our loadout, so we spend a lot of time early on in Helldivers 2 trying to figure out those stratagems that hit just right, and in today's video I want to show you a few stratagems you will not be able to live without when taking on Helldivers 2 in higher difficulties. Today I want to show you two different stratagems that I genuinely believe will be in my loadout 100% of the runs I do for the foreseeable future, as these are simply the best stratagems, especially when taking on this game completely solo. If you're new to the channel, my name is Takibo and I am going to be covering mostly solo play at the highest difficulty, including farming guides, gameplay, and all sorts of tips that can assist you spreading democracy across all of these different planets. Of course, most of the tips, including the ones from this video, will apply to grouped play as well. I just happen to enjoy lone wolf in video games, and Helldivers 2 is no different. So without any further ado, let's talk about these stratagems. The first stratagem I want to talk about today is the Shield Generator Pack. This is a backpack stratagem that will passively give you a shield for the entirety of your run as long as you have the backpack equipped. By utilizing this shield, you will not be able to equip jump packs or guard dogs or any other type of backpack. However, none of these stratagems will come close to being as good as this one. When you look at it from a first glance, you might think that this shield is really only going to be useful when dealing with automatons, as it's mostly going to just shield you from small fire, right? Wrong. The shield does not only apply to shots, it actually applies for melee damage as well. But most importantly, this shield will protect you from CC. Or in other words, it will protect you from being knocked down by the charger, it will protect you getting knocked down by the stalkers, as well as it prevents you from being slowed down by the Bile and other types of slows, which are oftentimes extremely annoying to deal with when you're being swarmed by the little guys. So basically, anything that was going to otherwise stun you or slow you now gets blocked by this shield entirely, as long as the shield is up, of course. This shield is no joke either. It can take quite a lot of damage before it gets destroyed. I have no idea how much damage it can take, but I suspect it can pretty much take as much damage as a full health bar, because you can survive some pretty strong hits and the shield just remains intact. Once the shield does, however, get taken down, it will remain down for about 5 to 6 seconds before it pops back up. Once it does return, it does not return at full health, but it'll still block a hit or two before it gets taken down again if it does not recover back to full. This shield is going to be an absolute necessity when taking on higher difficulties, especially as a solo player, seeing how all of your enemies' attentions are focused on you, which will mean you're constantly surrounded by little guys, getting rushed by stalkers, and getting charged by chargers. Not to state the obvious fact that if you're dealing with automatons, you'll be getting shot from every direction. Being able to not constantly be pushed over and shoved by all sorts of different enemies makes an insane difference to your runs, and I'm sure once you guys pick up this stratagem, you will not want to play without it. So this shield is an amazing defensive utility, but now let's talk about my favorite stratagem in the game. I spent several hours grinding XP just to reach level 20 as fast as I could so I could get my hands on this bad boy. The stratagem in question is the railgun. The railgun is simply the solo player's holy grail. Hell, it's probably a favorite to players who play in group as well, seeing how powerful this weapon is. And not only that, but it's a stratagem that won't be causing much accidental kills, as it's very easy to avoid messing up with it. Now, why is the railgun the solo player's holy grail? When taking on Helldivers 2 at higher difficulties, such as extreme difficulty and above, you will be encountering dozens of chargers per run, as well as likely multiple Bile Titans in determined planets. And in automaton planets, you'll be encountering multiple Hulkbusters, as well as multiple tanks. Now, what do these 4 enemies have in common? A shit ton of health and a thick ass armor. And that's where the railgun shines. The railgun penetrates any armor and it does a shit ton of damage. Take the Bile Titan for example. Shoot at his weak point? Nah, screw that. We'll just shoot him right in between his eyes. A few shots of the railgun to the Bile Titan's face and he'll drop dead in just a few seconds. I used to take upwards of several minutes when dealing with each Bile Titan before getting my hand on the railgun, but nowadays I really don't mind Bile Titans at all, especially if you see them from afar, because the railgun is able to shoot from extremely long distances, and oftentimes you can get rid of the Bile Titan way before it gets anywhere near you. And the charger as well, of course. 4 shots to the dome and it drops dead. assuming you don't want to play Matador with it and try to shoot it in its weak spots. The true beauty about the railgun is that it's a weapon rather than a cooldown bound stratagem, meaning you can just whip it out anytime you want to, and every little ammo pouch you find on the floor is able to refill 10 whole shots of it, meaning that's at least 2 chargers right there, or 1 Bile Titan. Seeing how ammo is not that much of an issue for the railgun, you can also use it on smaller armored targets that may be giving you some trouble, and they'll be a one-hit shot with a railgun, such as the Bile Spewer, the Hive Guard, among others. So these are the 2 stratagems that I believe I'll be running pretty much every single mission, regardless of its objectives. There are other godlike stratagems out there in the game, but all of them will be far more situational than the shield pack and the railgun, and may not be ideal for every single mission. These 2, however, will apply to any mission you play, as the shield will be your solution to resisting staggers and damage, and the railgun will be your solution for dealing with armored targets. So yeah, I won't keep you here any longer so you can get out there and spread some democracy. Stay tuned for all things Helldivers 2, especially if you enjoy playing solo, even if only from time to time. Now let's go ahead and get back out there. Peace.